One of the most famous and recognizable credit cards, and one of the only publicly accessible credit cards that still has that status symbol to it, is the Amex Platinum card. But is it even good? Like, seriously, has anyone even considered, is it even good? I mean, yeah, I know you get a shiny metal card, but, you know, a lot of people don't really consider the actual value proposition you're getting here. And that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. Hope you do enjoy. If you're new here, please subscribe down below. Really appreciate everyone who's subscribed so far, and let's get into it. All right, so I know this video is going to be controversial. I'm not really going to talk about the sign-up bonus. The sign-up bonus is, you know, it's pretty decent, 100,000 MR points. It can go up a lot higher, up to 150, I believe, is the max. So, getting it for the first year, totally worth it. No argument from me there. But yeah, so first of all, you are going to be paying a $700 effectively annual fee, which is very high. So like the benchmark for like meeting it, like in terms of value, is really, really high. But yeah, so we're going to be looking and seeing if if you're going to be getting your money's worth. Amex does say you unlock over $1,500 of value. It's a little questionable though. Okay, first, let's talk about hotel credit. So I do have a platinum card. I've had one for years. So I don't know. That might give you my conclusion on the matter, but I'll try and justify here. So $200 hotel credit, like you have to do it through American Express Travel, and FHR is a great program. But if you're someone who has like me, like Hilton Diamond already, and a bunch of Hilton points, it's not that valuable. Because I already can stay at a hotel for free. So using this credit, you know, and these are quite expensive hotels often, isn't great. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great, right? So I don't value this at the full 200. Now, this is probably valued at 240 for most people. Most people pay one or two subscription services. It works out a lot. Like I pay for Peacock for like pay-per-views and stuff like that, and I pay for the Disney bundle as well. So for me, that's worth 240, right? No questions asked there. And I think for most people, that's going to be the case. Walmart Plus credit is questionable too. For most people, if you don't use Walmart Plus, it's not necessarily valuable, except the fact that you get a Paramount subscription bundled into that. So if you're someone who already pays for Paramount, you can value the Walmart Plus credit at the value of your Paramount Plus membership. That's a little thing a lot of people do not know, that gets you a Paramount credit. Okay, Global Lounge Collection. Now, this is one of the big things that people like the Platinum card for. You do get access to the Global Lounge Collection, which is very, very good, including Priority Pass. Priority Pass, if you have another ultra premium credit card like the Reserve, you already get Priority Pass. And for me, for my money, if you fly out of Delta, it's worth having the Delta Reserve, which you get into Centurion and Delta Sky Clubs, and then also having, let's say, a Chase Sapphire Reserve, which gets you into Priority Pass. And those two things combined probably have a lower effective annual fee, because the Reserve, I'm not going to go into a full review here, but the Reserve, you do get a first class companion voucher, which is worth a lot, and the CSR, you get a bunch of other credits too. So that one's arguable. This, I think, is probably overvalued, because I think there's better ways of getting it. But there's definitely some value here if you're just this is your one credit card, your one-stop shop. That makes sense. Uber Eats, Uber Cash. I think this is pretty much cash value. You can use it for pickups, right? So like if you're going to Chipotle and you want to, order ahead on the app, you can just use Uber Eats for pickup instead. That qualifies. So I think you're probably, if you're doing that once a month, which most people are, that's basically worth its weight in cash. Airline fee credit, there's ways of using this, but you have to jump through hoops, right? So again, another credit, there's a little asterisk near it. And then you do get the Saks Fifth Avenue credit as well, which again, for my money, not that great, right? I wouldn't ever shop here. So this is usually stuff I don't want, like gifts, cologne, that kind of thing. And not that I don't want gifts, but you know what I'm saying. And then the Clear membership. Clear is pretty valuable, but is it worth $199? You have to remember, the fact that you're going to use Clear doesn't mean that this is worth $199. It's worth whatever its value is to you, because if you didn't get the credit, you probably wouldn't get Clear. So for me, I'm valuing this at about $100 a year, right there. Multipliers. This is probably the only one that's really good. For prepaid hotels, I wouldn't pay for hotels without, and I don't pay for hotels really, other than the fact that there's the credit. So that's not that valuable, and you have to book through AmexTravel.com, of course, for that. But the 5X flights, no argument for me. That's very valuable. That's a great feature. And then 1X points on other purchases, there's not really any reason to use that. And looking through, if you can look through yourself, but a lot of this stuff is just stuff you'd get from other cards. Now, you do get some elite hotel statuses. I'm a Hilton loyalist, and I have a Hilton card, and I have a Hilton Diamond, right? So for me, it doesn't move the needle, and I never stay at Marriott, so it's not that helpful. You do also get this, but you can get through other cards. Getting all three isn't that valuable, because you can status match from Hertz to National and Avis. So just getting Hertz through the Reserve is the same effectively as this, right? Primary CCW is valuable. There's not really any way of arguing that. It's very, very valuable service. And some of these insurances, some people find valuable. I personally have never had to use them, thank God, knock on wood. So yeah. And there's not really much else you're going to get. So again, probably the one thing is actually purse protection. The purse protection is very good on Amex. There's no really way of arguing that. So what are we valuing this at? I think this is very personal dependent. I'll talk about why I have it personally in a second. But I think you're looking at $100 for this, the full 240 for this. So let's call it 350 here, and probably maybe another $100 here for the Paramount. So you're looking really there at about 450. Global Lounge Collection for me is $0 because I really already get that, but it does give you access to Centurion card while not flying Delta. Centurion Lounge while not flying Delta. So let's say max it's going to be $100. I'm being generous here. So we're at 550, and then Uber Cash we're valuing at full value, so that's 750, and then I don't really value any of the other stuff. So for me, it barely ekes that out, except for one thing. Remember how I said before it's a status symbol, and a lot of people have it just for the cool shiny metal card? That's actually worth something. I don't know what that's worth, if it's $100 a year, but I think it probably is. Just being able to have a platinum card in your wallet is kind of just like a cool thing, and that alone is actually worth something, and that's not something to be discredited. So for me, it does eke out the annual fee on the value I get out of a loan, barely, but honestly, it's just kind of cool to have one, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with just saying, I want this thing, and I'm going to pay for it. That's fine. And I think a lot of people in the credit card game often forget that sort of human side where you just kind of want it. Maybe it doesn't make sense, but you just want it. And guess what? If you can, afford the money and it makes sense for you value-wise, go ahead and get it. So yeah, that's my take on the Amex Platinum card. Hope you did enjoy. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Please subscribe if you're new, by the way. See ya.